Hey, hey, good stuff, family. We're asking in November, since it is the season of Thanksgiving and gratitude and family, that y'all would jump on here and share your favorite family recipes. You could do the whole thing on video. You could just do a quick intro with the ingredients, whatever. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be like before and after. A still picture would be fine. But we'd love to see your faces. We'd love to see the family that makes up the Good Stuff family bringing their individual recipes in. It's also the season to eat, and my family, we like to eat, and we don't pretend or make any excuses otherwise, right, Auntie Babs?
No, ma'am. We love to eat.
What do? So how about this, Auntie? There it is. See, Auntie Babs. She called just minutes before I was going to go live, and she did not want to do this. Did you, Auntie Babs?
No, ma'am.
It felt meant to be, though. I feel like God wanted you. What'd you say?
Oh, yeah. It's meant to be.
Well, we're talking about family, and ta-da, my Auntie Babs. Now, I'll also share our friend Kelly Nelson, who's original Good Stuff family member. Her husband, Howard, lost his favorite aunt. They have a funeral for her. Her name, incidentally, is Dawn. So I told my Auntie Babs, I said, I was just thinking of you like half an hour ago. And what did I say, Auntie Babs? Do you remember?
Yeah, no.
I'm glad you're not dead. Remember I said I'm glad you're not dead.
Oh, yeah. But I told you I was the Walking Dead.
That's all right. It's still better than dead. What's that movie where the guy's like, I'm not dead yet. Well, you will be soon. It's some Monty Python movie. Anyway, from the gratitude report comes this: Auntie Beb is not dead. And I'm only half joking because I lost my mom less than a year ago. That's Auntie Beb's sister. And I miss her. I miss her a lot. But that's a perfect introduction, Auntie Babs. We're going to make these pecan almond graham cracker thingies, with the brown sugar.
Oh, I know. You told me you were going to do that with me.
This is kind of our go-to. In fact, my friends probably wish I'd take a break on this recipe. But I know you said you had to go. Can you just tell me really quick, when you think of family recipes from the Compton side, from Grandma Compton, what comes to mind?
Well, when I used to work in there, and before I had kids, I would stay at Mother's house, and Mother and Daddy's house, and when she knew I was coming, she'd always make tuna and noodles.
Oh, I love it. I still call you for the cream sauce recipe, don't I?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And my dad would come home and he'd say, I guess Babs is here, huh? See that tuna and noodle on the table.
Tuna and noodle night. What about chicken and dumplings? That was my mama's. Everyone begged her for that. Remember the homemade rolled out?
That was your mother. My mom was a good cook, and she did make good dumplings. But there was something that Marlene would do to those dumplings, that they would be so fluffy.
Yeah.
And light. Oh my God, so I can't make them that way.
Right.
You're not supposed to roll them too much. You're and not knead them too much because it makes them tough. And Marlene, I'll tell you what, she made the best dumplings. Oh,
she did.
Golly.
I
don't know what she did to them, but it was delish.
Well, I can tell you what she told me. I think we might have lost here we go. We're back. The first time I tried chicken and dumplings from Cleveland, I called my mom, and this was her recipe. These are the best ones. They aren't written down. They're just like handed down word of mouth, right? So she said,
no, she wrote mine out for me.
Oh, you have a hard copy of it.
I think it's her handwriting.
All right.
My mom.
Well, I called her for it, and she said, just do a pinch of this and eyeball it.
Oh, no.
Eyeball it. That's what everyone always says to grandmas and moms. Just eyeball it.
If you never made them before, you can't eyeball it because you don't know what it's supposed to look like.
Exactly.
That's the sign of a good cook. But yes. I'm not that way. I go strictly by the recipe.
That's me too. I need some direction. So mine ended up real soupy. So I just took the measuring cup and like siphoned some of the liquid out and then added a little of this and that. And I'm going to tell you, they turned out really well. They really did.
Really?
I can't tell you how I did it. Like I said, it was like just improvising, but they weren't as good as my mom's, but they were pretty darn good, if I do say so
Yeah,
myself.
no. She had the knack. I don't know what it was,
Oh.
but she was good at it.
She was a good cook. So I know you have to go, but I'm going to set this phone down with a microphone. You can listen in as long as you want and say anything you want. And if you have to go, we understand. But here's what we're doing. I love you, Auntie Babs.
I love you too, Donnie too.
Okay, Donnie Do. That's only my family calls me Donnie Do. Honestly, that makes me, I love that. I love that from my Auntie Babs, Donnie Do. Okay, so here it is, super easy. You line a cookie sheet with graham crackers, super easy. You know, as close as you can, no spaces in between. Then what you're gonna need is a cup of brown sugar, a cup of sliced almonds. So these come in half cup packages. You just buy 2 of those. I highly recommend Aldi, by the way. This is not sponsored by Aldi, but super, like a quarter of the price of these name brands. Oh, look who it is. Look who just came in. John Crowley, making a guest appearance in his own home. So our dog sit for the Crowleys, and I feel like Little Red, or what's her name, Goldilocks right now. Somebody's been loving in our poochies. I was sitting and hiking in our woods, and she's still there, Auntie Babs, and she's cooking in our kitchen. John said, hi, Auntie Babs. Hey, there's Laura, too, your better half. Oh, it's so funny. I said, oh, Goldilocks. Okay, feel free to take a shower in your own home. We're just having a little cooking show. All right, so you've got your graham crackers. And it's good to spray that with a little olive oil or something, you know, so the grahams don't stick. Then you take your mixing bowl. 1 moment, please. Not the mixing bowl. You take this big, I have some of this ready. You take a pot, okay, a saucepan. In there, I have a stick of butter and a stick of margarine. I don't know what the secret is, but 2 sticks of butter does not work. 2 sticks of margarine does not work. Not a fan of margarine, but it calls for it in this recipe. And I think of my other adopted mama, Auntie Babs, Mama Dufala, who passed away a couple years ago, and she said, do not eat the margarine. She was at a picnic, and they left a stick of butter and a stick of margarine out, and the birds came and ate all the butter and never touched the margarine. That was her point. If the birds aren't eating it, probably we shouldn't. No margarine, but for this recipe, it takes 1 stick. Okay, so there we are. So I'm gonna bring this over to the stove with the cup, 1 cup packed solid of brown sugar, okay? I'm going to bring this to a boil. It's going to make like a caramel. Laura, feel free in your own kitchen. So switch this over here. You can see me at the, it takes so little time that you really don't have to watch the whole time. But so here we are. We're going to put this cup of packed brown sugar right in here. The sticks are starting to melt. They don't even have to be melted first. Get it in there, okay? Then, again, you want a cup of shaved almonds. Excuse me, it says natural sliced almonds, the slivered ones. You know, the flat. Okay? Look how easy this is. There's technically no baking even going on right now. Okay? Then I add a cup of pecans as well. And I should be completely transparent here that I found a recipe online called My Mama's Graham Bars or something. Let me just borrow John Crowley's cheaters, right? Auntie Babs, I had to borrow his cheaters. Okay, so let me just check. This is a kind of a variation. Ours, I call them too good to be this easy pecan almond thingies. But this recipe that I found is exactly ours, called My Mom's Graham Cracker Toffee Bars. But what they do is they put a layer of chocolate on top. So we're going to mix up this recipe a little bit. So that is getting ready to come to a boil. Let's make sure we stir it. Auntie Babs, help me fill some time here. What's going on? Auntie Babs. What did you say? What'd you say? You did what?
I'm coming up on this horrible highway.
Oh, you gotta go. I didn't know you were driving. Okay, yes, it's dangerous. Okay, I love you. I love you so much. Okay, God bless. Okay, bye, Auntie Babs. Okay, I love her. She was actually at my house in St. Louis watering some plants for me. God bless her. So, yeah, this whole series is about gratitude for family. It was super cool that she called in. Okay, so now we're bringing that to a boil. And as soon as it does, you let it boil for 2 to 3 minutes, okay? And just keep stirring it. I'm going to bring this over and show you kind of what it looks like. You see in there? It's making like a toffee kind of thing right now, okay? The brown sugar, the butter, and margarine, almonds, and pecans, okay? So let that come to a boil. I already have the oven at 350, okay? So, oh, sorry, Toby. The Crawley's fur babies here. Toby and Chansey and Calvin, they just came back from hiking in the woods. I love it here. I may not leave, like Goldilocks. Okay, so once that comes to a boil, we're going to slather it all over these graham crackers, okay? And then we pop it in the oven 350 for 4 to 5 minutes. That's it. And then we're going to try this new version recipe that what they do after that, it comes out of the oven and they says sprinkle it with 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and you just allow that. It'll be hot, so it's going to come. And then you spread it all over, and that's the only difference from our Kendrick family recipe. And so let's just see what. One moment. I thought while we're waiting for this to boil, I also came up with another thing that I just happened upon while I was here at John and Laura Crowley's. I had some fresh Brussels sprouts, and they had, see, it's like a team effort. Together we can, together we will. I brought the fresh Brussels sprouts. You slice them fresh, okay, on the foil. John happened to have some dried cherries. I hope you don't mind. What's he gonna say? No. You know what I thought would be good in here too is that maybe like some crispy bacon, but we don't have any. So here's what I did. It's really simple. These two ingredients, dried cherries, yum. Okay, just kind of sprinkle them on the top, and then we're gonna go real heavy with some olive oil. Wait, let me keep an eye on this thing. It's boiling. One moment. It's almost to a full boil. Okay, and once I get this done, I'm bringing some of these over to John's neighbor, who's going to be 90, right? Oh, she is 90. Isla, I think is her name, from Ilza. Haven't met her yet, but I called her yesterday. I know she thought I was a telemarketer. I said, I'm staying at the Crowleys, and I would love to come over and meet you because I have a huge soft spot for our elders. She said, sure, come on over. So once these come out, we're going to take them over. She'll be our test sample group. Okay, so I know I have 2 recipes going here. Stay with me. Be sure and don't mix the 2. No one wants Brussels sprouts in the toffee bars. We need to keep them separate. So this is boiling right now, okay? I'm going to give it like 1 more minute. And in that minute, I can put the olive oil over the Brussels sprouts, and then we're going to go real heavy on salt and pepper. It doesn't need any other seasoning. Salt and pepper, that's it. But so here's the olive oil over the Brussels sprouts, like so. John, do you like Brussels sprouts? Oh, good. Okay, these will be for you guys tonight. Okay. Be generous with it. Okay, especially if it's the Crowley's. Probably some sort of rare olive oil. Okay, so we're going to leave the Brussels sprouts now. We're going to take this pan, this saucepan now with the hot caramel sauce. Let me do it over here, okay? These are your graham crackers. Here we go. I'm just going to slather it on. It couldn't be any easier. This is the mixture. Okay. Sorry, John. There it is. Boiling mixture of brown sugar, almonds. Okay, we're going to slather it on each of these graham crackers. The oven is preheated to 350. And then once it comes out, after 4 minutes, we're going to put some chocolate chips. I had to borrow some of your chocolate chips too. I only had one bag. I bought one bag. I thought it was 2 cups, and then of them. So there's a no judgment zone.
Exactly.
Okay. So slather. Do you think you like these, the pecan almond things? Okay, cool. Because I'm sure your neighbor's not going to want. She's not diabetic, is she?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Be invited back. No, but I can't wait to go over. We'll do a little get to know her. John, will you stand by me a little bit so my microphone picks you up? But she was alive in Germany, World War II, right?
Yeah.
So she's got some stories to tell. Tell me what you know about her.
Well, she came over from Germany. She would tell these stories to us that, when she was a little girl riding her bike and all of a sudden the planes would fly overhead and drop bombs and they would have to jump off their bikes. She's a walking history book. Really, I can't
even imagine. Yeah, I can't wait to meet her. And this is why I love the elderly, or the elders. I call them my elders because it's a fine line between, what do you consider to be elderly, John? When I got the AARP thing in my mail, I said, oh, heck no. I called my friend who's an attorney and I said, who do I sue for undue stress? I didn't ask for this in my mailbox. Hey, John, will you pivot that thing over here? Just kind of pivot it, slide it. Cooperation. That's what they say on Sesame Street. Oh, that worked. Okay. So here it is. There's your almond mixture. I'll post the exact recipe too online. Okay. We're just going to pop it in here for 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to just go ahead. I'll put 5. Let's see here. So cook time. 5. Start. Okay. Now, once that comes out, we'll just have to put the oven up to 400 for these Brussels sprouts. Simple. Dried cherries and slathered in olive oil and make it real crispy, like caramelized. Is so good. Like candy. The cherries. Oh no, I'm trying to quit. Are you making dinner right now to go with this?
No, I'm making some. I've only had breakfast so far.
Oh, this is perfect. He's making some chicken strips and you'll have Brussels sprouts to go with it. So sometimes I think the simplest seasonings are best, especially with this, but lots of it. So lots of the Crowley's cracked brown pepper. Very generous with theirs.
It's very special pepper.
It's probably very special. Maybe that's why they were so good. But and then lots of salt. And those are your 2 bonus recipes. That's pretty much it. What I'll do is post a picture because the Brussels sprouts go in the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes, depending on how caramelized. I like them almost kind of like burned, a little burned. So yeah, just kind of keep an eye on it. And I'll put the finished picture of those on, but you'll be able to see the finished version of the caramel pecan bars, the almond pecan bars. That ought to do it. And again, we're doing a little variation on the Kendrick family recipe, pecan almond thingies, to include an extra step I found online called Mom's Toffee Bars. Okay, and we'll end up putting chocolate on top. So this is it. That's so simple, you guys. It's 2 ingredients and salt and pepper. No, 3. Olive oil, Brussels sprouts, dried cherries. That's it. And lots of salt and pepper. So that'll go in next. 2 more minutes on the toffee. And I wanted to share with you, if I could, while we have a couple minutes. My friend Danielle did an interview on her podcast, Farmhouse Storyteller. You got to look her up. She's amazing. Then the stories that she finds. And I thought it was interesting. It's simple, but I didn't think of it until this woman who she had on. Her name's Nicole Suvar, Suvar, has a book called Numbering Our Days, Combating Anxiety in the Power of Small Intentional Moments, Numbering Our Days. So one of the things she said is, we're always on our cell phones. We know that. She has kept an alarm clock that they got for their wedding and insist on using that still. I mean, can you name anyone who uses an alarm, a physical alarm clock? We usually, I do anyway, set the cell phone so that the first thing she reaches for is not the cell phone, it's the alarm in the morning. And then she made a really good point, I thought too, that if you're waiting, in her words, for water to boil, instead of grabbing the phone and scrolling, she said, clean off the counter, do something intentional, right? I don't think I ever really thought about how often, even 2-minute increments of time on the phone. So I'm filling this time intentionally, spending it with you all to pass that on to you as well. And I think I could pull up here, actually, let me make sure I don't end up burning all this stuff. Okay, let me pull up the brand here. Hang on one second, because I want to show you, I put some stuff in before we started. Here we go. So I bought a bunch of these plates not too long ago, and I gave them out, pie plates. And I happened to be able to have brunch over at my friend Jim and Sue Shell House. I call her Parkside Sue because I met her at Parkside Church. But she made an apple pie in this pan that I gave her years ago. How cool is that? I'll pull up a close-up of it. You can go ahead and read it. These are the kinds of people you want to surround yourself with, these amazing women. I'm going to get these out of the oven. Yep. There we go. So are y'all thinking about what kind of recipe you guys might want to share from your family? I'm hoping you do it. It doesn't take long. It doesn't even have to be this long. You could literally just show the ingredients and post the recipe and give us a picture of yourself so we can see the family members that make up the Good Stuff family. Okay, now I'm going to reach this oven for 4, let's see here. And that's going to be for the Brussels sprouts. And they will stay in again 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on how crispy you like them. Okay. Now, while that pecan mixture, here, what's it say? If you haven't had a chance to read it yet, let me see. Start with faith and honesty. Mix in pure humility. That's one of our favorite words. Add strength of character that rises above the stress of life's surprises. Fold in personality. Toss with generosity. Pour in love from a heart that's true. Yield one terrific, amazing you. That was the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, here's the book I was telling you about earlier. I'm going to check it out from Danielle Folk's podcast. Let's see. Yep, there it is, Numbering Our Days. Go back and pull that up if you want. And as I was preparing all of this, oh, here's Parkside Sue and Jim. There was the apple pie I was just telling you about. It was good too. She's a really good cook. Really, really good cook. So I wanted to share two more things with you before we wrap this up. This was today when I woke up on the daily refresh. For it's with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it's with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. This is my message to everyone, including myself today. What are our words with our mouth that we profess our faith? Are our words kind, especially if they're behind someone's back? The words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you. So that's the thought for today to go along with this recipe. And I'm finishing with one of my favorite people in all the whole wide world, John O'Leary from Live Inspired. We've had him on the podcast. I will include a link to that if you didn't get to see it. He's from St. Louis, and he used a Brene Brown quote in his newsletter. I love this because authenticity is very much a boutique word, I think now, really. But true authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day, about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. So that was the Brene Brown quote by way of our John O'Leary, who we adore and admire. So now let me just show you before we wrap this up. This is what, oh, they look good. The real, it's just like a caramel. Hold on. Let's use this. See, it made like a nice little caramel. That's what it looks like. Okay, that's the Kendrick recipe. So now what this new version says put 2 cups of chocolate chips. I'm a journalism major. And because the 1 cup was full with the brown sugar, I'm using a ½ cup. But even I know that would be 4 of these. Math for a journalism major. So here's what we do. We're going to sprinkle 2 cups of chocolate chips. I'll bring it right back in a sec. Over the top while it's still hot. And again, this is my first time making this variation of this recipe. So they're going to get melty on the top, and then all you have to do is spread them all over. So that was 2. Let's go with 1 more after this. Is anyone weighing in on the comments? I haven't been able to check them yet. I would love it if you have something. Weigh in and share. Would you be willing to share this, y'all? That's what we're trying to do. Share all of these posts that we do. That's the way we grow the Good Stuff family tree 2023. Ooh, we're almost out of 2023. We're going to have to change that now. 1 month. Okay. So there's your 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate. As soon as it melts, I'm going to spread it all over, and then we're finished. We'll be finished with that recipe. Let's see. Smashing them in. You know what? I'm just going to leave them like this. So now I just made a different version of her version of our pecan almond thingies. There you go. Okay, so here, and I'm going to have to bring them over to John's neighbor and get back with you on a report of how good they were. Hopefully. Oh my God, what if she hates them? That's all right. We're all about honesty here. There you go. Pecan almond thingies with a layer of chocolate chips on the top. It's like being like toffee with chocolate. It's so easy. So easy. What did it take? 10 minutes, maybe? Boil it in your pot, throw it in the oven, and take it out. So the oven is at 400 now. I'm going to throw these Brussels sprouts in, and they take a ½ hour. So I will give you all a picture of them when they come out. And I want to thank you if you checked in here today. And you know what we say, see the good in others and be the good for them. On your mark, set, let's go.